welcome back to KMMA. I'm Andy O.
And I'm Khalil Deal.
So we're back here with the main card part of a UFC Vegas 97. To kick off the
Final
card,
predictions.
we got Trevor Peek and Yanel Shmuz. And here to give his brilliant take is the real deal Khalil.
All right, man. So yeah, this fight here, my pick is going to be staying the same. Of course, I got Yanal Ashmuz to get the win, man. Trevor Peek right away, man. He came up right away in his face with his hands up, getting in Yanel's face. But you could see here, Yanel was not phased at all. He stayed cool and calm.
Not impressed.
Both these fighters are in great shape. I find that Trevor Peek is more ripped, but Yanal is thicker and a little bit more muscular. He's also ripped too, but he looks bigger as well than Trevor Peek. Trevor Peek, you can see there, looks a little bit skinnier than Yanal Ashmuz, and I think that's a good thing for Yanal. I feel like Yanal is stronger. He's got more powerful punches. He's going to land something when Trevor leaves his head open and rushes in. So that's my take on it. I think Trevor Peek's going to come in guns blazing. He's going to make a mistake. He's going to try to come in charging. And I think Yanal, being the more technical striker, the more precise striker, is going to land something on Trevor Peek's chin when he comes in. Trevor Peek has a bad habit of leaving his head open, wide open to get hit. And Yanal has very hard punches. So I got Yanal winning this one by knockout. I think he knocks out Trevor Peek, man. How about you?
Yeah, I feel the same. I say don't snooze on a schmooze here. A schmooze has power, and he actually has a couple submissions as well. I don't think he's afraid to step into the fire against Peek here. Peek is really a one-trick pony, and his only chance to win is getting that knockout. I feel they have about the same amount of power, but I feel Peek's chin at this point is probably a bit weaker because he's taken a lot of punishment. And
He gets
also,
rocked. He gets rocked in fights.
also his kicks are a lot better as Shmooze. So I feel that blending something a bit different, a little bit more variety is going to get him the win here. So I pick, yeah, a Shmooze by knockout with Peek coming in.
Yeah, and Trevor Peek has zero ground game. Okay, this guy doesn't take anybody down. He's got no submission skills at all.
If you gave him your arm and said, try to submit me, he would like not know what to do.
Yeah,
He would
seriously, he really does not have any kind of idea what to do on the ground. And I think that's something that Yanal in his camp, if they're smart, they're definitely telling him, hey, why don't you try taking him down? You've got some ground game. You've got a couple of submissions there. I think he has a shot here at getting Trevor Peek down. And we've seen Trevor Peek get taken down in his fights there. So I like that advantage in his back pocket there.
All right, so we agree.
All right, let's move on up to the next fight.
All right, we got Matt Schnell against Cody Durden. Cody Durden coming in on short notice here. I feel he's going to work his wrestling, hard-nosed Cody Durden. Cody Durden just looks like a guy I used to know in high school, just too funny. Has that like all doped out face there. And Schnell, kind of on the slim side I found. And the thing with Schnell, though, these days, he just leaves himself really open to take those shots, and I don't think he can handle it anymore. He's been knocked out. What was it, like 3 out of his last 4 fights or something like that? I don't know if Durden's going to get the knockout. Durden's all over the place with his finishes, but I'll go ahead and predict knockout or decision for Durden here.
Yeah, seriously, man. Like Matt Schnell, he really cannot take a punch. If he gets hit by Cody Durden with a hard punch, very, very good chance he gets knocked out. Even Steve Ursay was able to knock him out in that last fight. And prior to that, Mateus Nicolau was able to knock him out. And also, he got subbed by Brandon Royval. So, Cody Durden has submissions as well. He's very good at black belt jiu-jitsu.
But one thing I have to say, though, before is you got to keep your eye out on the Schnell sub. Like, Schnell has good BJJ, probably better than Durden's, and Durden, I say, is still susceptible towards subs, right? You get a guy with a lot of subs, right? Even though he's not the best at BJJ, Schnell does have a lot of subs. Combine that with a guy that got subbed already 4 times in his fights, you got a recipe for a sub there, right? Just keep your eyes open on that one.
Yeah, I just think Cody Durden's very scrappy and slick on the ground. I think he's. I mean, if you're gonna sub Cody Durden, you have to be really really good at. You have to be a good jujitsu. Like for example, somebody like Tajir Ulanbekov, who was able to sub Cody Durden in his fight. Um, you have to be really really skilled, and I don't think Matt Schnell. I think he's good, but not to the level of Ulan Bekov because Cody Durden's very slick on the ground and he's very scrappy. He'll get out of subs, man. People have tried to sub him, he gets out of it. Um, so I like Durden in this one, man. Both of these guys look very very serious. They're both in good shape. I feel like Matt Schnell's a little bit more ripped. But I think Cody Durden is tougher, man. He's got that dog in him. Matt Schnell's chin just can't be trusted, man. And
I used to say Chanel would qualify for having that dog in him, but to be that kind of dog, you have to be able to take shots too, and he
yeah,
just can't.
you got to be a tough guy, and I
Yeah.
don't think that Schnell has that toughness anymore like Cody Durden has, man. I think Cody Durden, even though he's coming in on short notice here,
Yeah.
all he has to do is just blow a little, just blow on his chin and he'll knock him out there. So I got Cody Durden winning this one by KO or decision. I think that he'll just be landing more, doing more on the striking. Matt Schnell's striking is not great. I think Cody Durden's a better striker, and I think Cody Durden's going to be able to knock him out or win a decision here. I don't know if he subs him, but definitely he can get a knockout with that terrible chin of Matt Schnell there. So we're in agreement. Both of us got Cody Durden. All right, let's move on up to the
So
next.
now we got Kyle Nelson against Steve
Your
Garcia.
boy.
He's just the guy who's going to happen to stop the overhype of Steve Garcia. I think one of the keys to Nelson's win here will be his precise kicks. If he can get that going again, maybe slow Steve Garcia's stalking because Steve Garcia is a stalker, and he just has to, man, he has to use some footwork. He has to come up with something to avoid that Steve Garcia power. I think he will. I think Steve Garcia is crafty enough to do it. And I think we're looking at a decision win for Nelson.
Man, you should try to get in touch with Kyle Nelson, man. This is your favorite guy, man. This guy, you big this guy up so much, man. You guys should go have a drink together or something, man.
Well, let's see how he performs here. The offer will be on the table. And look, they're both 16-5. You can't say that Nelson won't provide kind of somewhat of a challenge for Garcia, even though you're very biased, because you just have to, man. You got to support the Canadian guy a little bit. All right, who you
Look,
got?
I definitely think Kyle Nelson is pretty tough there. But Steve Garcia is just a monster, man. Both of these guys look very serious. They're both in good shape. They're about the same size. I feel like Steve Garcia has a bit more power, though. He should go in there and get the finish. I think he's going to go in and he's going to go in and attack Kyle Nelson, catch him off guard, have him backing up. He's going to keep moving forward. I'm not ready to jump off the Steve Garcia train, man. He's just been ripping through people in his last 5 fights, man. The guy's got 4 knockouts. I mean, that's not something to sneeze at. Knocked out Chase Hooper with left hooks. He's got good ground punches. He hit Shailan Nurdembieke with an uppercut to the body. Now, he's got good body shots. We'll see how Kyle Nelson can deal with that.
Yeah, well.
He,
Anyway, he knocked out all a bunch of guys, but
He was able to get the ground and pound on Melchiziel Costa, who's also pretty decent, man. And even Sung Woo Choi, he knocked him out, man. So like I said, like Kyle Nelson is pretty tough, but he has been rocked in some of his fights. Jai Herbert, he lost to Jai Herbert actually by unanimous decision, and Jai Herbert is not even a powerful striker at all.
knock people out. Come on.
He had a tough time against Blake Builder there, but he still did win by unanimous decision. In his last fight, he got that knockout on Bill Algeo. I mean, Kyle Nelson is pretty tough still. I just think Steve Garcia.
If Mahashate can knock you out, maybe Kyle Nelson can, right?
Man, it's gonna be a tough fight. It's gonna be a banger of a fight for sure, man. These guys are gonna smash each other up. but I think Steve Garcia has a good chance to knock out Kyle Nelson. We've seen Kyle Nelson get rocked. I don't think his chin is that solid, man. So I'm gonna go with Steve Garcia, man. I'm not jumping off the train just yet. All right, so we're not in agreement here in this one. Let's move on up to the next fight here.
Uh,
Got Jessica Andrade versus Natalia Silva. Now,
yeah,
Natalia Silva, man.
it's my turn, I
Is
think.
it your turn? Okay, go ahead.
So this one, yeah, I'm gonna pick Natalia Silva just because she's just gonna be a lot faster, as I mentioned before. Speed kills, her volume, her angles of striking, her high kicks, mid kicks, just punches from those angles combined with the footwork and her speed. I think it's just gonna be too much for a slow Andrade. And I don't think Andrade is gonna be able to grab onto her and power slam her or anything, right? Unless she happens to cut her off and somehow get her against the cage to do that. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think Silva is on a real roll. I think she got that losing out of the way earlier on in her career when she was supposed to, and she looks pretty good. And I think she keeps the ball rolling against Andrade here. What about you?
Yeah, man, I am in agreement here with you. I got Natalia Silva for sure, man. Natalia Silva looks in amazing shape, man. She's more ripped. She's much taller than Jessica Andrade. And I noticed that Jessica Andrade, man, she's not as muscular as she used to be, man. She's not even as ripped as she once was, man. She looks very ordinary here in this photo here, and you can see that she's probably been indoors a lot, man. She doesn't even have a tan, nothing. Like she's not even out there, not even getting any sun rays, man. She looks white and pale as a ghost there. She used to always look tan before. She's not as muscular, not as ripped. Doesn't look like she's training as hard as she used to, man. Natalia Silva looks ripped. She's tan. She's ready to
Well,
go.
I'm glad she doesn't have much muscle though, Natalia Silva, because that would hurt her and her the way she fights. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
Natalia Silva is just going to be the quicker fighter. I think she's going to be much faster on the feet. I think she's going to move left and right much better. Jessica Andrade is going to come at her like she always does. You know how Jessica Andrade fights; she walks you down. But Natalia Silva with those leg kicks, those high kicks, kicks to the body. She's got good striking from a distance. I think she's going to piece up Jessica Andrade as every time that Jessica Andrade tries to come in closer, Natalia's just going to piece her up with the punches, piece her up with the straight punches, the jabs. She's going to move around, avoid Jessica Andrade's big looping hooks and her wild punches. I think she's going to frustrate Jessica Andrade a lot
Yeah.
with those kicks. Might even catch her with a high kick to the head there. And yeah, I don't think it's. I think Jessica Andrade is on a downhill, man. I think
You
she's.
got you got to think, is Jessica Andrade as durable as she was before also?
True. I just don't think that Jessica Andrade is looking as good as she used to, man. And it shows just in the way she looks right here, man. Like way less muscular than before, way less ripped than before. I think Natalia's got this one in the bag, man. So I got Natalia Silva winning this one by decision, or a KO is possible with a high kick. Maybe she catches her with a high kick knockout to the head. So that's what I got for this one here. We are in agreement. Nice. Let's move on up to the main event of the evening. We got Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady.
Yeah, so yeah, Gilbert Burns here, I think, is the better, more powerful striker. I'll say it again. I don't think Brady's striking is that good. It's very, very basic and predictable. I feel what's going to happen here is basically Gilbert's going to want to keep it a stand up because he has the advantage there. And I don't know who has the advantage on the ground. That's where the intrigue is in this fight, right? The new school BJJ versus old school. I think if Gilbert Burns is healthy, especially when it comes to injuries getting in the way of his shots, like preventing him from throwing all the shots he wants to, striking wise. I think he has a very good chance of winning this fight. He's going to be my pick. I think, he has the experience. And Brady's chin, very questionable now after that knockout to Bilal Muhammad. Not taking away anything from Bilal Muhammad, but he knocked him out in one shot, one little hook coming in like that. Not a good look. And people were even saying Brady was fraud checked after that. I'm not going to go that far. I still think he's very good. He's very skilled. But I think Burns Burns is not gonna lay down for this guy. I think he's gonna bring it, and he's gonna win a decision here.
You got Gilbert Burns now?
I had Gilbert Burns since the beginning, man.
Oh shit, man! I thought you
Uh,
were on the Brady side. All right,
no,
uh,
no.
man. I gotta say here that these two guys are in great shape. But Brady looks much bigger, man. You can see the size difference there. Bigger chest, bigger arms. He's more muscular than Gilbert Burns. Burns is a little bit more ripped. Burns is a little tiny bit taller and a little bit more cut. But if you look carefully there on the stomach tattoo of Sean Brady, you can see that there's a guy wrestling a lion there. So that's what I'm talking about with Sean Brady. This guy's wrestling and his grappling is really, really good. And I think that he'll cause some problems for Gilbert Burns. Even though Gilbert Burns is amazing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and he's a very good grappler as well, I think that Gilbert Burns is going to see that Sean Brady is also just a slight level above Gilbert Burns when it comes to the wrestling. I know that Gilbert Burns has a bit better submissions. I'll say that the jiu-jitsu might be a little bit better on Gilbert Burns' side, but I think Sean Brady's just a better wrestler, man, and a better grappler, man, and he hits hard too. So it's going to be a good fight. I think these guys are going to scrap it out. I got Brady though, man. I got Brady winning this one by submission or decision. I think he catches Gilbert Burns in a weird compromising position on the ground and manages to latch up a sub that Gilbert Burns wasn't expecting, man. That's what I think is going to happen here. Or this fight even might go to distance and Brady just doing more work on the feet. I don't think Gilbert Burns is a better striker. You think he is? I don't know. I don't.
I
I'm not impressed by Gilbert Burns' striking. I'm more impressed by Gilbert Burns' submissions, if anything.
if yeah, well, if what's his name that if Damian Maya couldn't sub Gilbert Burns, I don't know if Sean Brady can. So
Sean Brady is pretty tough, man, and he's 16-1 for a reason. Gilbert Burns is 22-7. I got to use a quote from you. Those losses come from somewhere.
because that's a good record against top tier competition. That's 16-1. Go check the top competition in there though, not
But
comparable.
we still have to say that Jake Matthews is a tough son of a bitch. He managed to sub him. He also got a Kimura on Kelvin Gastelum. He also did pretty good with the guillotine choke on Christian Aguilera. I mean, yes, I agree that Gilbert Burns has fought the best of the best there, but man, coming off a knockout from Jack Della Maddalena, losing the two decision losses to
He
Belal.
got caught. Yeah, he got caught with a knee there. That was a fluky knockout, you got to say.
And then when he got his wins, like his last two wins, are these guys really that good? Neil Magny and Jorge Masvidal, are they
No,
really?
I absolutely agree. No, they're not. But at least he was able to go in there, ragdoll Magni, and submit him immediately. You know, the way you're supposed to do it, right?
But
Instead
his
of
last win was a year and 4 months ago against Jorge.
yeah.
It was a decision. He didn't even sub him. He didn't even.
Yeah, a part of my thinking on this is, of course, that Burns has something left in the tank, and you're kind of the opinion that maybe he's on that downward slide, right? So,
I think this is where we got
I,
to start looking at when are these guys starting to get on the downfall. I think this is where it starts here. Two losses in a row. I think this is going to be his third loss for Gilbert Burns, and I think Burns is slowly going to end up leaving the UFC. Man, I think he gets kicked out of the UFC if he loses this one. That's going to be three losses in a row and four in his last six fights if he loses this one. So that's not a good look, man.
oh no, don't leave Gilbert and leave Dilbert or his brother.
Oh, his brother's probably gone by
Yeah,
now.
like yeah, you want to get rid of Gilbert for this, but his brother's still here.
His
Oh
brother's
no.
probably gone by now after that last loss. All right, man. There you have it, folks. Our final predictions, thoughts, and face-offs for the main card. Me and Andy O in disagreement in quite a few of these. It's going to be interesting. I can't wait to watch the event. Like and subscribe, folks, and stay tuned for our official bets video coming up next.
MMA, baby. Oh, No outro music. You have to hum.
Yeah. Okay, man. So
Hum, bro.
we'll
All
call
right.
we'll call it a